How are we doing, guys? Welcome to the preview and the predicted lineup. Arsenal against Ipswich, and we've had to wait for everybody else to play before we get our game. Now you can look at it one or two ways. It's nice to have a bit extra to recuperate and get ready for the game, but at the same time, everybody else plays first, and if the results go, not your way, kind of not what you want, is it? But listen, over the Christmas period, when games are coming thick and fast, it is nice to have that extra day. But like I said, that little flip side of if everybody, goes and gets their job done, it puts the pressure on you. And right now, whilst we are one of the ones chasing, I'd rather get the games in first, and then you put the pressure on the likes of Liverpool. Now, looking at the results over the course of this weekend, some absolutely mad ones when you're looking at it. Now, I know that they're nothing to do with us in terms of contention and titles or anything, but Manchester United lose again. Relegation fight they're in. Forget about European fight or anything. My word. Amarin must be sitting there and thinking, what have I done? Man City draw and Chelsea lose at home to Fulham. But Liverpool go and win. Leicester actually took the lead in that game, but I said at the time it was far too early. And the goal, literally seconds before half time, completely changed the momentum of that game. And once they did that, you knew there was only going to be, one result in the second half. So, we've got to go about our business and get the 3 points. And, it takes us up into second place, 6 points behind Liverpool. And there's going to be a lot of twists and turns. And if there's one team that is capable of going on that kind of long run at the business end of the season, is Arsenal. We did it last year, bar the Aston Villa game. We went on a absolutely stupid run from January time. So we're more than capable of doing it. Man City are definitely not going to be doing it. They're way out of the title race. But yeah, I feel that we are the only team that could catch Liverpool. And I'm still very confident that we will catch them, and that, come the end of the season, we will be lifting the Premier League. But there's no room for error. And, this is another one of those games where you look at on paper and you say, comfortable, going to win this one easily. But it's never comfortable as such with us because of the way that teams are setting up against us. And I watch teams play against, other sides that are challenging at the top end. You look at Fulham at Chelsea, for example. I didn't see Fulham play like they did against Chelsea against us, where they left spaces and they risked, being caught because they were trying to score goals themselves. I didn't see none of that. Ipswich, I think that they do try and play football the right way. But do I feel that they're going to come to the Emirates and try that? No. I don't think that at all, because if they do, they'll hold 5, 6, 7 goals. It's as simple as that. So again, I do think it's going to be a side that play with this mid to low block, and they will try to frustrate us. I think that the injury to Bukayo Saka may make things a little bit different in a better way. Not saying that I'd rather Saka not playing, because I would rather him playing all day long. But when teams do set up in this low block, they put 2-3 men on Saka and Odegaard and whatnot and try and stifle those areas. And it means that it's quite easy to deal with around the rest of the pitch, is what they're finding. But with that not now there, how are teams going to approach that? Are they going to be a little bit more stand off, a little bit more cautious? Will they think, okay, we can let him have the ball a little bit more? Or it's going to be a very interesting one without Saka there, and he's going to be, not available for the foreseeable, the next 6-8 weeks, something like that. So we've got to find the solutions. There is, of course, January around the corner and the transfer window. I see some people coming up with ludicrous suggestions, and they're talking about spending 80 or 90 or million pound on a player that plays predominantly in the same position as Saka. But what are you going to do when Saka returns? Use your head before you speak, seriously. It's still that left side that we need to go and strengthen. And somebody that can kind of play in a variety of positions, can play as a striker, can play right, can play left, but is predominantly there. Who that will be, that's another video for another day. We're talking about this game against Ipswich, and I think what's key is getting an early goal. If you get the early goal, then that completely wipes out the game plan of the opposition. They have to come out from their block, and that will then start to leave the space for us. You look at Crystal Palace. Fair play to them for being a team that didn't want to sit with a low block. They pressed us high. They tried to really stick us under pressure. But what that meant at the other end was that we were able to pick them off. And a very good Crystal Palace side, who had a very good home record, got absolutely pulled apart and conceded 5. And that is a prime example why teams don't try and do that against us. Because if you do, we will do that. But yeah, listen, team lineup's going to be interesting. I do feel at the moment we need to play with the single pivot and more to kind of 8/10s. It will leave us a little bit more susceptible to, chances that we let the opposition have, shall we say. But I feel that it will give us more creativity and more opportunities in those areas. And it's going to be an interesting one what Mikel goes with, with the absence of Saka. And like I said, early goal is crucial. Get that, opens the game up. And then I think we go and score 4 or 5 goals. But we can't take this one for granted. We can't, think that it's a foregone conclusion that we're going to win. Look at what happened between, Chelsea and Fulham. So yeah, look, listen, with that said, let's go and get into the predicted lineup. Starting off in goal, David Raya. Very simple, very straightforward. Right back, Jurrien Timber. He's making the position his own, and it's very, very simple. Right centre back, William Saliba, ever present this season. Very simple. Left centre back, Gabriel. Again, the centre back pairing, best in the league. It's as simple as that. Left back, Calafiori comes back into the side for Lewis Skelly. Hasn't put a foot wrong, Lewis Skelly, but Calafiori is the specialist left back, and he just offers us that natural balance. Simple. Moving into the midfield, this single pivot, it's going to be Declan Rice. Thomas Partey has had a really good season, been one of our best players. But if you're going to play a single pivot, Declan Rice is better at the single pivot role than Thomas Partey. I see Thomas Partey against Palace, and I don't think some of those opportunities that maybe Palace had in the first half happen if Declan Rice is the pivot. I just think he's better and more capable as a single pivot than Thomas Partey is. Both got their strengths and weaknesses, but if you're going to play that, it has to be Declan Rice. On the right-hand side, I do believe it will be Martinelli. Nwaneri is definitely an option, but I do feel for this, Mikel Arteta will go with Martinelli. I thought he was really good against Crystal Palace when he switched to that right-hand side. So yeah, he will keep that place. Next to him, Martin Odegaard. Again, a very straightforward one. It's going to be interesting to see how he adapts without his usual partner on that right-hand side. But yeah, he's going to have to, you know, really step up. You know, when we didn't have Martin Odegaard, you know, we struggled. And what I would say is that I feel that Bukayo Saka is our best player, but Martin Odegaard is our most important player, because Odegaard makes things tick for the system we use, if that makes sense. So Saka is the better player, our best player, but Odegaard is our most important one because of the system. Alongside him, I actually think that this will be Mikel Moreno. Yeah, I actually think it will be him, to be quite honest. And I haven't got a problem with that. I think him and Odegaard with Rice behind. Yeah, I'm happy with that. On the left-hand side, I think it will be Trossard. If Ipswich are going to play with that mid to low block, there might not be a lot of space in behind, so Trossard could be key to helping unlock the door, as they say. But yeah, I think that's a pretty standard one. Up front, as the main striker, Gabriel Jesus. I feel he warrants another start. 5 goals in his last 2 games. And I just feel that at the moment, Kai Havertz will have to wait his turn. I do feel that Kai Havertz has been overused. I do feel that Kai Havertz has been in need of a breather for a while. And while Gabriel Jesus is in this kind of form, I think it's the perfect opportunity to give Kai Havertz that breather. Why not? At the end of the day, when a goal scorer is scoring goals, the one thing you don't do is take him out of the side. It's that simple. So, listen, I think that's a very strong lineup. And we're at home to Ipswich. Let's remember that. And we've got to be professional, go about our job, get the job done, get the 3 points, and then we move on to the next set of games. And then we've got 2 tricky-looking away ties. You know, Brentford away, only lost 1 all season at home, and that was actually last time out. And then Brighton away. Brighton are a good side, although our recent record at the Amex has been really good. So, yeah, let's concentrate on this one first. Let's get our job done. Let's move up into second, and then we crack on with the next one. So, yeah, let me know in the comment section what you think with that lineup. Do you agree or disagree? Of course, if you're new around here, hit the subscribe button, smash a like on this video, and I will see you lot very soon. I'm out of here.